oh, this client has been asking for a request on doing an exchange rate on this type that market, for example, then he will pop up to the client, tell him, oh, be careful, there's a pricing request here. It's not just chit-chat, because there's a lot of chit-chat happening as well. Naturally, some conversation which are not about pricing requests. But the chatbot will be there to identify any pricing request which happens and alert him on this request. It can go a bit further than that, actually. The chatbot could actually identify the trade, extract the characteristics, go in the pricing system of BNP, request the price to the trader automatically, come back with the price, and then the sales just has to push the price to the client. No more manual interaction. The sales doesn't have to give a call to the trader, which is possible when you deal with 1 client, 5 clients, 10 clients. If you want to be more efficient, you want your sales to cover more clients, it's not possible anymore. So chatbots will be there to speed up this pricing request. We'll always be very transparent with the client that it's a chatbot which is giving him back a price or giving him back some recommendation. It has to be, it's very regulated, the market we're dealing with, so you cannot do anything. You have to act in full transparency with the client. So the chatbots will never replace fully the sales. It will be there to empower the sales, to give him the context. You can imagine as well the following example. You are in a conversation over the phone with your client. The client is discussing maybe some potential trades, and the chatbot could pop up with some market information on this product. And then if it continues, it will pop up maybe, oh, what are the trades that the client has already done with you? You see, the chatbot is not just here to discuss with you, but could as well push some relevant information while you're talking. It would be fantastic to have that. You know, you're discussing with your client, and every time he talks about something relevant, the chatbot picks up in the system what it corresponds to for us, for BNP. And then the sales can, oh, you know what, you've done this trade 2 days ago. Now he knows what happened. In that sense, chatbots are here to make more efficient the first part of the value chain, the one which is a bit repetitive, which is a bit systematic. That's where a chatbot can help, because he knows that there's been a lot of examples in the past on which to train the chatbot. Look, we've seen for years that whenever this happens, then you do that. So that's perfect field for a chatbot to automate something. After, the more added value will always be human. That's why we need the sales, that's why we need the trader who understand exactly what's happening. But really the part which is a bit repetitive, the first part of the value chain is where AI is bringing today the most of the value. Because we didn't have the full chain in place, we started with something fairly simple where sales would receive pricing requests through chat messages. So for us, it's called Bloomberg, the Bloomberg chat system. So they would receive through IB chat some pricing requests, and all the guys had to do in the first place was to copy-paste the chat into the pricing system of trading, and then push a button, and then the little bot behind would recognize it's a pricing request, would identify all the parameters of the trade, and would launch the request. And then the guys would receive back the price and would just have to reply to the client. So it was done in the first step, not fully industrialized, because there was still some manual process in the first place, in the process, but already it was a big success. It's called Smart Paste, and a lot of people are already using it, are very happy. It has saved a lot. It has saved, every time it saves 5 seconds, 10 seconds, but when you do that 100 times, 200 times a day, it starts to matter. The same example is that we're receiving a lot of requests through emails. So like we have hundreds of clients, literally, who send pricing requests on a lot of products through emails. So they would send a list, price me those 100 equity options, for example. And then we would have, in the first place, we had one template to parse those requests per client. Now we have an AI, a single AI process, which has understood how to map every little column, if you want, in the Excel spreadsheet that was sent by the client to the corresponding field in the pricing system automatically. So instead of having to maintain 100 separate templates for each client, and every time you have a new client to rethink how to do it, now you have an AI who has learned over the years of receiving those type of messages. It has learned how to process it and to directly do the mapping. So it means a much more efficient process, less operational risk, and faster service, faster and better service. Another area where a chatbot will be very relevant is in compliance. You know, the business we do is very regulated. There's been some incidents in the past in many other institutions. We have to be number one in terms of service to our clients, and very diligent about what we're saying, the way we execute, and being completely transparent. So we have a chatbot which monitor in permanence what trader and